The next morning, Kate woke up to the smell of her mother's famous pancakes. For a moment, she forgot about the fight with William. She felt like a teenager again, safe in her childhood bedroom with no real problems to worry about. Then she remembered the fight, the harsh words, William saying maybe love was not enough. Kate sitting in this same bed, wondering if her engagement was over. Kate looked at her phone. No messages from William. It was 8 in the morning. He would already be at work at the auto repair shop. He started at 7 every day, even on Saturdays. "Katie, breakfast is ready," her mother called from downstairs. Kate put on her robe and went to the kitchen. Margaret had made a full breakfast spread. Pancakes, bacon, fresh fruit, orange juice. This was how Kate had grown up. Her mother always made sure everything was perfect. "Did you sleep well, dear?" Margaret asked. "It's not really," Kate admitted. "I kept thinking about William." "And what did you decide?" Kate sat down at the table. "I do not know, Mom. I love him, but maybe we really are too different." Margaret sat down across from her with a cup of coffee. "Tell me something, Katie. When you imagine your future, what do you see?" Kate thought about this. "I see a nice house with a big kitchen. I see children playing in the backyard. I see family dinners and vacations and maybe a dog. And how does William fit into that picture? He is there with me, working in the garage he wants to open someday. Coming home tired but happy. Playing with our kids. But Katie, think about the details. What kind of house? What kind of vacations? What kind of life for your children?" Kate knew what her mother was getting at. "You think William cannot give me those things?" "I think William is a good man, but I think he has limitations. Your father and I can give you the down payment for a house. We can help pay for your children's college. We can make sure you have the life you grew up with. But what if I do not need all those things? You say that now, but what about in 5 years? What about when your friends are buying bigger houses and taking expensive vacations? What about when your children want things their friends have?" Kate ate her pancakes and thought about this. She had grown up with everything she needed and most things she wanted. Could she really be happy with less? Her phone rang. Kate's heart jumped, hoping it was William. But it was Sarah. "Kate, I've been thinking about our conversation last night," Sarah said. "I think you should talk to William today. I do not know what to say to him. Tell him how you feel. Tell him what you want. Give him a chance to fight for you. What if he does not want to fight for me? Then you will know where you stand." After Kate hung up, she decided to drive to the auto repair shop. She needed to see William face to face. She needed to know if their relationship was worth saving. The shop was busy when Kate arrived. She could hear air tools and engines running. The smell of motor oil and tire rubber filled the air. This was William's world. And Kate had always felt out of place here. She found William under the hood of an old pickup truck. His hands were covered in grease, and his work shirt had oil stains on it. When he saw Kate, he straightened up and wiped his hands on a rag. "Hi," he said quietly. "Hi," Kate replied. "Can we talk?" William looked around the shop. His boss, Mr. Peterson, was watching them. "I am working, Kate. Can this wait until tonight? Please, William. It's just 5 minutes." William sighed and walked outside with Kate. They stood beside her car in the parking lot. Other workers were watching them through the windows. "I am sorry about last night," Kate said. "I said things I did not mean. Did you not mean them? Do you just feel bad about saying them?" Kate thought about this. "Both, I guess." "Kate, I have been thinking all night. Maybe you were right. Maybe this is all a mistake." Kate felt her heart sink. "You do not want to marry me? I want to marry you more than anything, but I cannot give you the life you want. I cannot afford fancy invitations and expensive dresses and big receptions. I do not care about those things." "Yes, you do, and that is okay. You should care about them. You deserve nice things." "I deserve you," Kate said. "That is all I need." William shook his head. "Your mother called me this morning." Kate felt cold suddenly. "What did she say?" "She said I should do the right thing and let you go. She said I was holding you back from the life you could have. My mother had no right to call you." "Maybe not, but maybe she was right. Maybe I am being selfish trying to marry you, when I cannot provide for you properly. Kate grabbed William's hands. But they were rough from working with tools, and they smelled like motor oil, but they were the hands she loved. William, listen to me. I do not care about money. I do not care about fancy things. I care about you. But for how long, Kate? How long before you start resenting me for not being able to buy you nice things? That will never happen. You say that now, but what about when we have children? What about when they need things and I cannot afford them? What about when your friends have bigger houses and newer cars? Kate could not answer because she was not sure. She had never been poor before. She had never had to worry about money. Maybe William was right to be concerned. Kate, I love you. Enough to let you go, if that is what is best for you, William said. Do not say that. Please do not say that. William's boss stuck his head out the door. William, I need you back in here. Have to go, William said. We can talk more tonight. Where at the apartment? I do not know. We should take a break from each other for a few days. Hey, maybe we should both think about what we really want. Kate felt tears starting. A break? You want to take a break from our relationship? Want what is best for both of us, even if that means we are not together. William walked back into the shop without kissing Kate goodbye, without saying he loved her. Without giving her any hope that they could work things out, Kate sat in her car for a long time watching William work through the window. He did not look at her once. She thought about going back inside, about making him talk to her more. But what was the point? He had made his feelings clear. Kate drove back to her mother's house feeling confused and heartbroken. When she walked in, Margaret was waiting in the living room. How did it go with William? Margaret asked. Wants to take a break? Kate said. He thinks maybe we should not be together. Margaret tried to look sympathetic, but Kate could see relief in her eyes. Oh, honey, I am sorry, but maybe this is for the best. How can you say that? Because now you can find someone who truly deserves you. Someone who can give you everything you want. Kate went upstairs and called Sarah. William wants to take a break, she said. What does that mean exactly? It means he thinks we are wrong for each other. It means he listened to my mother when she told him to let me go. Your mother called William this morning. She told him. He was holding me back. Kate, that is terrible. She had no right to interfere. Maybe she was right, though. Maybe William and I are too different. Or maybe you two just need to communicate better. Maybe you need to figure out what really matters to both of you. But Kate was starting to wonder if it was too late for that. Maybe the damage was already done. Maybe some problems were too big to solve with just love and good intentions. The rain was falling hard against the windows of their small apartment when Kate and William started fighting again. It was the third time this week they had argued about the same thing. Money, the wedding, her mother, his job. Everything seemed to be going wrong at once. Kate stood in the kitchen holding the wedding invitation samples. Each one cost more money than they had. She looked at the prices and felt sick to her stomach. $200 just for invitations. That was half of what William made in a week at the auto repair shop. We cannot afford this, William said. For the 10th time. He was sitting at their old kitchen table with bills spread out in front of him. The rent was due in 5 days. The car payment was already late. Now Kate wanted to spend money they did not have on a fancy wedding. My mother says we need proper invitations, Kate replied. Her voice was getting louder. She says people will think we are cheap if we use computer-printed ones. William stood up so fast his chair fell backward. I do not care what your mother thinks. We are broke, Kate. Do you understand that? We have $37 in our bank account. Kate put the invitation samples down hard on the counter. Maybe we should not get married at all then. Maybe this is all a mistake, the words hung in the air between them like poison. William stared at her. Kate immediately wanted to take the words back, but her pride would not let her. Maybe you are right, William said quietly. Maybe we are too different. You want things I cannot give you. Kate had been with William for 3 years. At the coffee shop where she worked as a waitress, he came in every morning before work, always ordering the same thing, black coffee and a blueberry muffin. He left a $2 tip even though the coffee only cost $1.50. At first, Kate thought he was just being nice. Then she realized he was trying to talk to her. He would ask about her day, her dreams, her plans. No one had ever been that interested in what she had to say before. William was different from other boys she had dated. He worked hard at the repair shop, saving money to maybe open his own garage someday. He did not drink too much or stay out late with friends. He came home to her every night and they would cook dinner together in their tiny kitchen. But now everything was falling apart. The wedding planning had turned them into strangers. Kate's mother had opinions about everything. She wanted Kate to have the perfect dress, the perfect flowers, the perfect reception. She kept saying this was Kate's one special day, and they could not ruin it by being cheap. William's family was different. His parents had been married for 30 years, but they had a simple wedding in a small church. They thought Kate and William were spending too much money on one day when they could use that money for important things like a house or a car that worked better. "Your mother thinks I am not good enough for you," William said now. "She thinks you should marry someone with more money, someone with a college degree." "That is not true," Kate said, but she knew it was partly true. Her mother had said those exact words last week when they were shopping for wedding dresses. "I see how she looks at me," William continued, "like I am dirt on her shoe, like I am not worthy of her precious daughter." Kate felt tears starting in her eyes. "William, please, let us just figure this out." "There is nothing to figure out," William said. "You want a big fancy wedding? I want to pay our bills. You want to make your mother happy? I want to build a life with you. We want different things." "So what are you saying?" Kate asked. "I am saying maybe we should postpone the wedding. Maybe we should think about whether we really want the same future." Kate felt like he had slapped her. Postpone the wedding? She had already sent out save the date cards to 50 people. Her dress was being altered. The church was booked. Her mother had already planned the reception menu. "You want to postpone our wedding 2 months before the date?" Kate asked. "I want to be honest about what we can afford," William said. "I want to marry you, not put on a show for your mother's friends." "Fine," Kate said. "If that is how you feel, maybe I should just go stay at my mother's house tonight. Maybe we both need to think about what we really want." "Maybe you should." William said. Kate went to their bedroom and started throwing clothes into a bag. Her hands were shaking. She could not believe they were having this conversation. 2 months ago, William had proposed to her on the beach where they had their first date. He had saved money for 6 months to buy her ring. It was not a big diamond, but it was beautiful, and it meant everything to her. Now they were talking about postponing their wedding, about wanting different things, about whether they should even be together. Kate finished packing and walked back to the kitchen. William was standing by the window looking out at the rain. Did not turn around when she came in. "I will call you tomorrow," Kate said, "when we are both less angry." "Okay," William said without turning around. Kate picked up her car keys in her bag. God. She wanted William to stop her, to say he was sorry, to say they could work everything out. But he just stood there looking out the window. "William," Kate said. "What?" He turned around. "I love you," she said. "Even when we fight like this, I still love you." "I love you too," he said. "But maybe love is not enough." Kate felt like crying. But she did not want William to see her tears. She opened the apartment door and walked out into the hallway. The door closed behind her with a soft click. She stood in the hallway for a moment, hoping William would open the door and ask her to come back. But the door stayed closed. She could hear the rain getting harder outside the building. Kate walked down the stairs and out to her car. The rain soaked through her jacket immediately. She got in the car and sat there for a minute, looking up at their apartment window. William was still standing there, but he was not looking down at her. Kate started the car and pulled out of the parking space. She had a 20-minute drive to her mother's house. 20 minutes to think about whether her relationship with William was really over. 20 minutes to decide if they had just had their last conversation as an engaged couple. As she drove through the rain, Kate thought about all the good times she and William had shared. Their first date at the small Italian restaurant, the night he told her he loved her, the morning he surprised her with breakfast in bed, the day he proposed. But she also thought about how different they were, how her dreams seemed to cost more money than his dreams, how her family looked down on him while his family thought she was spoiled. Maybe William was right. Maybe love was not enough. 3 days passed without Kate and William talking to each other. Kate spent those days at her mother's house, trying to figure out what she really wanted. She looked at wedding magazines with her mother and visited bridal shops, but her heart was not in it. On Wednesday evening, Kate was sitting in her old bedroom when her phone rang. It was William. "Kate, we need to talk," he said. His voice sounded strange. "Okay? Do you want me to come to the apartment?" "No, I will come to your mother's house. I will be there in 20 minutes. Kate's heart started beating faster. She had not heard William's voice in 3 days, and she missed it more than she thought possible. When William arrived, he looked tired. He was wearing his good jeans and a clean shirt, not his work clothes. His hair was combed, and he smelled like soap instead of motor oil. "Can we take a walk?" William asked. "I need to get out of this house." They walked through Kate's old neighborhood. These were streets where she had learned to ride her bike, where she had walked to school every day, where she had kissed her first boyfriend under the streetlight on the corner. "Kate, I have been doing a lot of thinking," William said. "About us, about the wedding, about what your mother said." "What did you decide?" "I decided that I was being stupid. I was letting fear make my decisions instead of love." Kate stopped. "Walking? What do you mean?" "I mean, I was so worried about not having enough money that I forgot why I wanted to marry you in the first place." They sat down on a bench in the small park where Kate used to play as a child. The streetlights were coming on, and the air was getting cooler. "Why did you want to marry me?" Kate asked. "'Cause you make me happy. Because when I come home from work and see your face, everything bad about the day disappears. Because when you laugh at my stupid jokes, I feel like the funniest man in the world." Kate smiled for the first time in days. "Those are good reasons?" "Because you believe in my dream of opening my own garage, even when I do not believe in it myself. 'Cause you make the apartment feel like home just by being there. 'Cause I cannot imagine my life without you in it." "Then why did you want to? Take a break?" William looked down at his hands. "Because your mother made me realize how little I have to offer you. Because I was afraid you would wake up one day and realize you married beneath you. William, you are not beneath me." Equals, are we, though? "You grew up in a house like this?" William pointed to the big houses around them. "I grew up in a trailer park. I went to college for 2 years. I barely graduated high school. None of that matters to me. But it matters to your family." "Matters to your mother." Kate felt angry suddenly. "My mother does not get to decide who I marry. I do, I know that. But I also know she wants what is best for you. She wants what she thinks is best for me. There is a difference." William reached over and took Kate's hand. "Kate, I want to ask you something, and I want you to be completely honest. Okay, if I never make more money than I make now, will you be happy? If we never have a big house or fancy cars or expensive vacations, will that be enough for you?" Kate thought about this question seriously. She thought about the life she had imagined for herself and the life William could actually provide. "I think I will be happy if we love each other and respect each other and work together toward our goals," she said. "That is not really an answer. It is the only answer I can give. I do not know what will make me happy in 10 years. But I know that right now, the only thing making me unhappy is being apart from you." William squeezed her hand. "I missed you so much these past 3 days. I missed you too. Kate, I want to marry you. I want to marry you next month as planned. But I need to know you understand what you are getting into." "What am I getting into?" "You are getting into a life where we will have to watch every dollar we spend. Where we will buy our furniture at garage sales and clip coupons for groceries. Where we might not be able to afford to eat out very often or take vacations every year." Kate nodded. "I understand. You are getting into a life where I will come home dirty from work every day. Where I might not always smell good when I kiss you hello. Where my friends are mechanics and truck drivers, not doctors and lawyers. I do not care about any of that. You are getting into a life where your mother will never think I am good enough for you. Where some of your friends might look down on me. Where people might wonder what you see in me." Kate turned to face William completely. "Do you want to know what I see in you?" "What?" "I see a man who works harder than anyone I know. I see someone who is kind to old people and animals and children. I see someone who makes me laugh and holds me when I cry and never makes me feel stupid for the things I worry about. William smiled. Really? I see someone who is honest and loyal and who keeps his promises. I see someone who loves me for exactly who I am, not for who he wants me to be. I do love you for who you are. Then marry me, William. Marry me next month like we planned. We'll figure out the money and the invitations and everything else. William stood up and pulled Kate to her feet. Are you sure? I am sure. William kissed her then, right there in the park where Kate used to play as a little girl. It was the first time they had kissed in 4 days, and it felt like coming home. What about your mother? William asked. She's not going to be happy about this. My mother will have to accept it. This is my life, not hers. They walked back to Margaret's house, holding hands. Kate felt lighter than she had in days. She felt like they had gotten through the hardest part of their relationship and come out stronger. But when they got to the house, Margaret was waiting on the front porch. She did not look happy to see William. Katie, can I speak with you privately? Margaret asked. Mom, William and I have worked things out. We're getting married next month as planned. Margaret's face fell. Katie, please think about this carefully. You are making a decision that will affect the rest of your life. I have thought about it. This is what I want. William, no offense, but I think you are being selfish, Margaret said. If you really loved Katie, you would want her to have the best possible life. Mrs. Henderson, I do want Kate to have the best possible life. I want to be the one to give it to her, William replied. But can you? Can you really provide for her the way she deserves? Kate stepped between them. Mom, stop. This is not your decision to make, and I'm just trying to protect you from making a mistake you will regret. The only mistake I would regret is not marrying the man I love because other people think he is not good enough. Margaret looked hurt. I am not other people, Katie. I am your mother. Then support me. Trust me to make my own decisions about my own life. Margaret sighed. If this is really what you want, I will try to be supportive. Promise me you will not rush into anything. Promise me you will take time to really think about whether this is the right choice. Kate looked at William, then back at her mother. I promise I will think about it. But Mom, I have been thinking about it for 3 years. I know what I want. Night, Kate went back to the apartment with William. It felt good to be home, to be in their bed together, to fall asleep in his arms. But as Kate lay there listening to William breathe, she wondered if her mother's concerns were completely wrong. Was she making a mistake? Was she letting love cloud her judgment about practical matters? Only time would tell. Kate pulled into her mother's driveway just as the thunder started. The big white house looked warm and welcoming with lights on in every window. This was the house Kate had grown up in, the house where she had dreamed about her wedding day since. She was a little girl. Her mother, Margaret, opened the front door before Kate even knocked. She was wearing her expensive silk robe, and her hair was perfectly styled, even though it was 9 o'clock at night. Katie, what are you doing here so late? And why are you soaking wet? Margaret asked. William and I had a fight, Kate said. Big one. I need somewhere to stay tonight. Margaret's face showed concern, but Kate also saw something else. Relief, maybe. Her mother had never hidden her feelings about William. She thought Kate was settling for less than she deserved. Come in, Margaret said. Let me get you some towels and hot tea. Kate sat in the living room where she had spent countless hours as a child. The furniture was expensive, and everything matched perfectly. Fresh flowers sat in crystal, vases on every table. This was so different from the apartment she shared with William, where they had garage sale furniture and plastic cups. Margaret brought tea in china cups with matching saucers. Now tell me what happened, she said as she sat down across from Kate. We were fighting about money again, Kate explained, about the wedding costs. William says we cannot afford the invitations I picked out, the ones we looked at yesterday. They were beautiful, Katie. Every bride deserves beautiful invitations. That is what I told him, but he just got angry. He says we only have $37 in the bank. Margaret shook her head. I told you this would happen. I told you William was not ready to get married. A man should be able to provide for his wife. Kate felt defensive. Hey, William works hard, Mom. He just does not make as much money as Dad did. Your father had ambition, Margaret said. He went to college. He built a business. He gave me the life I wanted. Maybe I do not need the same life you had, Kate said. Do not be silly, Katie. Every woman wants security. Every woman wants to be taken care of. Kate thought about this as she sipped her tea. Did she want William to take care of her? Or did she just want them to take care of each other? William said maybe we should postpone the wedding, Kate said quietly. Margaret almost dropped her teacup. Postpone it? 2 months before the date? Says we need to think about whether we want the same things? Katie, listen to me very carefully, Margaret said. She leaned forward and took Kate's hands. If a man wants to postpone your wedding, he is having second thoughts, is probably seeing someone else. William would never cheat on me, Kate said quickly. You sure? Men get scared when they are about to get married. They start thinking about all the other fish in the sea. Kate pulled her hands away. That is not what this is about. This is about money and expectations and pressure. It is about William realizing he cannot give you the life you deserve, Margaret said. Maybe this fight is a blessing in disguise. What? Do you mean? Maybe this is your chance to find someone better? Someone with a future? Someone who can afford to buy his bride proper wedding invitations. Kate stood up suddenly. I cannot listen to this right now, Mom. I am going to bed. Katie, wait. I am just trying to help. I know you are. But right now, I need to think. Not listen to why my boyfriend is not good enough for me. Kate went upstairs. To her old bedroom. It looked exactly the same as when she was in high school. Pink walls, white furniture, posters of movie stars she used to have crushes on. She sat on the bed and looked at her engagement ring. The diamond was small, but it caught the light beautifully. William had told her it was not much, but it was all he could afford. Kate had said it was perfect because it came from him. Now she wondered if her mother was right. Should she want more? Should she expect William to be able to afford expensive things? Kate's phone buzzed. She hoped it was William calling to apologize. Instead, it was a text message from her best friend, Sarah. How is the wedding planning going? Are you getting excited? Kate stared at the message. How could she explain that she might not be having a wedding at all? That she and William had just had the worst fight of their relationship? She typed back, "It is complicated right now." Sarah called immediately. What do you mean complicated? What happened? William wants to postpone the wedding, Kate said. What? Why? Kate explained the whole fight to Sarah. About the money problems. About the expensive invitations. About William saying they wanted different things. Kate, you have been planning this wedding for months, Sarah said. You cannot just postpone. Because of money. Maybe William is right, though. Maybe we are spending too much. Or maybe William is getting cold feet. Maybe he is realizing he is not ready to be married. This was the same thing her mother had said. Kate was starting to wonder if everyone could see something she could not see. Do you think William loves me? Kate asked. I think William loves you, but I also think he might not be ready for marriage. Some guys just are not ready at 24. Kate was 23. William was 24. Most of their friends were. Not even thinking about marriage yet. Maybe they were rushing into things. Sarah, do you think I am making a mistake? Kate asked. I think you should listen to your heart. But I also think you should be honest about what kind of life you want. After Kate hung up, she lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Rain was still hitting the window and thunder was rolling. Across the sky, she thought about William, probably lying in their bed alone, listening to the same storm. Part of her wanted to drive back to the apartment right now. She wanted to apologize for the things she had said. She wanted to tell William that money did not matter, that they could have a simple wedding, that all she cared about was being his wife. But another part of her wondered if this fight had revealed something important. Maybe they really did want different things. Maybe William would always struggle with money while she would always want nice things. Maybe her mother was right about them being wrong for each other. Kate picked up her phone and almost called William 3 different times. Each time she put the phone back down. What would she say? That she was sorry? That she loved him? That she wanted to work things out? Or should she say that maybe they did need time to think? that maybe postponing the wedding was not such a bad idea? Kate fell asleep, still holding her phone, still wearing her engagement ring, still wondering if the man she loved was the man she should marry. Kate woke up the next morning feeling hopeful for the first time in days. She and William were back together, and their wedding was back on track. They had 1 month to figure out all the details, but at least they were facing the challenges together. William was already up making coffee in their tiny kitchen. He looked relaxed and happy, like a weight had been lifted from his shoulders. "Good morning, beautiful," he said, kissing Kate on the forehead. "Good morning. How did you sleep? Better than I have all week. It feels good to have you home." Kate poured herself a cup of coffee and sat at their little table. "We need to make some decisions about the wedding. We only have 4 weeks left, I know. I was thinking we could make our own invitations on your computer. We could buy nice paper and print them ourselves." "That is a good idea. And maybe we could ask your aunt to make the wedding cake instead of ordering one from the bakery." William smiled. "See, we can do this. We can have a beautiful wedding without going into debt." Kate nodded, but she was thinking about her mother's face last night. Margaret had looked so disappointed, so worried. Kate hated disappointing her mother, but she also knew she had to live her own life. "Kate, there is something I need to tell you," William said. "Something I should have told you before." Kate felt nervous suddenly. "What is it?" "Mr. Peterson offered me a promotion at the shop. Assistant manager. It comes with a raise." "William, that is wonderful. Why did you not tell me?" "Why would you not take it?" William sat down across from Kate. "Because it means more responsibility, more hours, more stress. And it still does not pay enough to give you the life your mother thinks you should have." Kate reached across the table and took his hands. "William, forget what my mother thinks. What do you want to do?" "I want to take the promotion. I want to work hard and save money, and maybe someday open my own garage like I always dreamed. Then take it. We'll figure everything else out as we go." William smiled and squeezed Kate's hands. "I love you. I love you too." They spent the morning making wedding plans. They decided to make their own invitations, ask family members to help with decorations, have a simple reception in the church fellowship hall, instead of renting an expensive venue. Kate called Sarah to tell her the good news. "William and I are back together, and the wedding is back on." "Kate, that is great. I am so happy for you. How are you feeling about everything?" "I feel good. Scared, but good. We are going to have a simple wedding, but it will be ours. That is all that matters." After Kate hung up, she decided to go see her mother. She wanted Margaret to understand her decision and hopefully support it. Kate found her mother in the garden, cutting roses for a flower arrangement. Margaret looked up when she heard Kate's car in the driveway. "Katie, I was not expecting you." "Today," Margaret said. "How are things with William?" "Good, Mom. Really good. We have been making wedding plans all morning." Margaret's smile looked forced. "That is nice, dear." "Mom, I need you to understand something. I know you think I am making a mistake, but I am not. William is a good man, and he loves me. I know he loves you, Katie. That was never the question." "Then, what is the question?" Margaret put down her garden shears and looked directly at Kate. "The question is whether love is enough, whether you can be happy with less than what you could have." "What do you mean by less?" "I mean struggling to pay bills. I mean not being able to buy nice things for your children. I mean watching your friends live better lives while you count every penny." Kate sat down on the garden bench. "Mom, did you marry Dad for love or for security?" Margaret looked surprised by the question. "Both, I suppose. Your father was ambitious. I knew he would be successful. But what if he had not been successful? What if he had stayed a bank clerk his whole life instead of starting his own business? Would you still have married him?" Margaret thought about this. "I do not know, Katie. I never had to find out. I am finding out. I am choosing to marry someone for love, not for what he can provide for me." 2 days later, Kate was driving to the grocery store when it happened. She had been thinking about wedding flowers and whether they could afford to hire a photographer when the pickup truck ran through the red light. Kate saw it coming, but there was no time to stop. The truck hit the driver's side of her car with tremendous force, spinning her vehicle across the intersection and into a telephone pole. Everything went black. Kate woke up in the hospital 3 days later. Her head felt like it was splitting apart, and her left arm was in a cast. A nurse was checking her blood pressure when Kate opened her eyes. "Where am I?" Kate asked. Her voice sounded strange and hoarse. "You were in the hospital, dear. You were in a car accident. Do you remember?" Kate tried to think, but everything was fuzzy. She remembered driving somewhere, but she could not remember why or what happened next. "How long have I been here?" 3 days. You had a concussion and a broken arm. You also have some bruised ribs, but you are going to be fine." Kate looked around the room. There were flowers on the table beside her bed, and get well cards taped to the wall. Someone had been taking care of her while she was unconscious. "Anyone been here to see me?" Kate asked. "Your mother's barely left your side. And there is a young man who has been in the waiting room for 3 days straight. William, I think his name is." Kate's heart jumped. William had been here the whole time, even after their fight, even after all the problems between them. He had stayed by her side. "Can I see him?" "Let me get the doctor first." "You over now that you are awake?" The doctor was an older man with kind eyes. He examined Kate's pupils with a small flashlight and asked her questions about what day it was and who was the president. "You have a mild concussion," the doctor explained. "Your memory might be a little fuzzy for a few days, but that is normal. The broken arm will heal in about 6 weeks. Can I go home?" "Not today. We want to keep you one more night for observation. But if everything looks good tomorrow, you should be able to go home." After the doctor left, the nurse went to get William. Kate tried to fix her hair with her good hand, but she probably looked terrible. She had been unconscious for 3 days. When William walked into the room, Kate started crying. He looked exhausted, like he had not slept in days. His clothes were wrinkled and he needed a shave. "Kate," he said softly, sitting down in the chair beside her bed. "How are you feeling?" "My head hurts and my arm is broken, but I am okay." "William, I am so sorry about our fight. Do not apologize. None of that matters now." The nurse said, "You have been here for 3 days." William nodded. "I could not leave. Not until I knew you were going to be okay." Kate reached for his hand with her good arm. "Were you scared?" "I was terrified. When the hospital called me, they said you had been in a serious accident. I did not know if you were going to wake up, but I did wake up. Yes, you did. That is all that matters." They sat quietly for a moment, just holding hands. Kate thought about how close she had come to dying, to never seeing William again, to never having the chance to tell him how much she loved him. "William, I need to tell you something," Kate said. "What?" "When I was unconscious, I had dreams. I dreamed about our wedding, about our future together, and in every dream I was happy. Not because we had money or nice things, but because I was with you." William squeezed her hand. "Kate, I have something to tell you too." "What?" "Sitting in that waiting room for 3 days, not knowing if you were going to be okay, I realized how stupid I have been. I have been so worried about money and what other people think that I almost lost the most important thing in my life." "Did not lose me, but I could have." "Kate, when I thought you might die, I realized that none of the other stuff matters. Not the expensive wedding your mother wants, not the money we do not have, not what anyone else thinks about us." Kate felt tears running down her face. "What does matter?" "You matter. We matter. The life we want to build together matters." William stood up and leaned over to kiss Kate's forehead, careful not to hurt her. Double quotes, "Kate, will you still marry me? Not because we have money or because your mother approves, but because we love each other." "Yes," Kate said without hesitation. "Yes, I will marry you. Even if we have to eat peanut butter sandwiches for dinner sometimes." Kate laughed. "Especially if we have to eat peanut butter sandwiches for dinner sometimes." Just then, Margaret walked into the room, carrying coffee and a sandwich. She stopped when she saw William and Kate holding hands. "Katie, you are awake," Margaret said, rushing to the bed. "How are you feeling?" "Better, Mom. Much better." Margaret looked at William. "William, you should go home and get some rest. You have been here for 3 days." "I am fine, Mrs. Henderson." "Mom," Kate said firmly, "William is staying. He is going to be my husband, and I want him here." Margaret looked like she wanted to argue, but something in Kate's voice stopped her. "All right, Katie, if that is what you want, it is what I want." "Margaret, sat down in the other chair. The police said the other driver was drunk. He ran a red light and hit you. Is he okay? Kate asked. He's fine. He was arrested for drunk driving. Kate shuddered, thinking about how different things could have been. If the truck had hit her car a few inches to the right, she might have been killed. I could have died, Kate said quietly. But you did not. William said, You are here, and you are going to be fine. William, promise me something. Anything. Promise me we will never waste time fighting about stupid things again.
House.
Promise me we will focus on what really matters. I promise. Kate looked at her mother. Mom, I know you think I am making a mistake marrying William, but sitting here right now, I know in my heart that he is the right choice for me. Margaret sighed. Chidi, I just want you to be happy. I am happy with William. Maybe we will not have a lot of money, but we will have each other. And right now that feels like everything. Margaret reached over and took Kate's other hand. Then I will try to be happy for you. The three of them sat together in the hospital room as the sun set outside the window. Kate felt grateful to be alive, grateful to have William beside her. I'm grateful that sometimes it takes almost losing everything to realize what really matters. Their wedding was still 3 weeks away, and Kate knew there would still be challenges ahead. But she also knew that whatever came next, she and William would face it together. The accident had changed everything, but in a way, it had also saved everything. It had reminded them both why they fell in love in the first place, and why that love was worth fighting for. And what if that love is not enough? What if you wake up in 5 years resenting William because you cannot afford the things you want? Kate had been asking herself this same question. Then I will deal with that when it happens. But I cannot base my decisions on what might happen in the future. Margaret picked up her garden shears again and started cutting more roses. Your father thinks I am being too hard on William. What does Dad think? He thinks William is a decent young man who will take care of you. He thinks I should mind my own business. Kate smiled. Dad is a smart man. Your father grew up poor, Katie. He knows what it is like to struggle. Maybe that is why he is not as worried as I am. Mom, I need to ask you something. If I marry William and we struggle financially, will you still love me? Will you still be my mother? Margaret dropped her shears and hugged Kate tightly. Of course I will still love you. You are my daughter. Nothing will ever change that. Then please support my decision. Please try to be happy for me. Margaret pulled back and looked at Kate's face. If this is really what you want, I will try. But promise me something. Promise me you will talk to William about practical things, about budgets and goals and plans for the future. Make sure you are both realistic about what your life will be like, I promise. Kate spent the rest of the afternoon helping her mother in the garden. They talked about flowers for the wedding, about Kate's dress, about the guest list. For the first time in weeks, they felt like mother and daughter again instead of opponents. When Kate got home that evening, William was waiting with dinner and good news. I talked to Mr. Peterson today, William said. I am taking the promotion. I start Monday. William, that is wonderful. I talked to my uncle about borrowing his truck to move some furniture. If we are getting married, we need a bigger bed and a real dining table. Kate laughed. We can afford furniture? We can afford some furniture. Nothing fancy, but better than what we have now. They spent the evening looking through the newspaper classifieds for used furniture. They found a dining table for $50 and a bedroom set for $200. It was not new or expensive, but it would be theirs. Kate, can I ask you something? William said as they were getting ready for bed. Of course. Are you sure about this? About marrying me? About the life we will have together? Kate thought about her conversation with her mother, about all the warnings and concerns people had shared with her. William, I am not sure about everything. I am not sure we will never have money problems, or that we will never disagree about important things, but I am sure about you. I am sure that I want to face whatever comes next with you beside me. William smiled and pulled Kate close. That is all I needed to hear. As they fell asleep that night, Kate felt peaceful. She knew their life would not be easy, but she also knew it would be theirs. They would build it together one day at a time, one decision at a time. Kate had no idea that their biggest test was still coming, that in just 2 days, Everything would change in a way that would either destroy their relationship forever or prove that their love really was strong, enough to survive anything. The accident was coming, and it would change everything.